Council, Mohamed Elmanfi, used his address to the UN General Assembly to call for international action to facilitate the withdrawal of foreign troops and mercenaries from Libya as the country prepares for elections on December 24th. He asked the international community to secure fair elections to avoid going back to military conflict and division. Ahmed Fathi, a global affairs analyst and a UN correspondent, discussed the highlights of the Libyan address with VOA Senior Analyst Mohamed Elshinnawi.
The mercenaries are a major problem in Libya's situation since the fall of the Gaddafi regime and the escalation and later the division of the country between the eastern part and the western part. Right now, there are mainly two groups. One were an overflow from those who were in Iraq and Syria, and those came through the Mediterranean, and another are contracted mercenaries through corporate entities in Europe. When we have the other countries are backing those major groups, can exercise some pressure on them, maybe there would be a breakthrough. Right now, the situation in the West, you have a government internationally endorsed and recognized with a presidential council, and you have in the East a de facto ruler or region with most of the Libya's resources and a military force, a self-styled Libyan army. However, who can exercise the influence? There have to be backroom trades between various powers. There is a lot at risk with the mercenary issue. And I think if this would be resolved, I think Libya can successfully move into the second phase with the elections at the end of the year.
Elmanfi also stressed the importance of holding free elections that could lead to stability and democracy. How would it take place when the Eastern House of Representatives approved a constitutional basis for the elections that allows military officers to run for presidency, while the Presidential Council is offering another list of constitutional bases?
As of today, the head of the Libyan National Army, General Haftar, has stepped down temporarily for a period of 3 months. This is a kind of a legal maneuver he took in order to make him qualified to get to the presidential election. At the meantime, he appointed his chief of staff with a mandate till the end of the election cycle. There is also another player, another force that less talked about, the son of the late leader of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, Saif al-Islam al-Gaddafi. He's also a potential candidate. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out. Without compromises, there's not going to be a national unity. And that's what the Libyans and Libya needs the most.
Elmanfi told the United Nations General Assembly that Libya will host an international meeting next month attended by regional and international partners to support Libya's stability. Could such a meeting achieve what Berlin I and Berlin II conferences failed to achieve?
Yesterday, there was a meeting in New York chaired by Germany, France, Italy, countries that they were participating in the neighboring group who were part of the Berlin process. They are also concerned about it. However, they have endorsed Elmanfi Presidential Council. The French have interest, so as the Italians, so as the Russians. Lots of the arms that was equipped for the Front Libyan army were Russian hardware. So Russia have also an interest. Turkey on the other side trying to redraw the maritime borders in the Mediterranean. And they need a regime in Libya that is friendly to them, that they found in the government in the western part. The Italians are walking the fine and tight rope. After supporters, predominantly Egypt, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. There is a lot of acts of proxy wars, but there is also acts of contradicting and conflicting interests. The disintegration of Libya is not in the favor of anybody. The territorial integrity is very important for the region, for its neighbors, and for the peace and security in this important part, not only for Africa, but also for Europe.
That was Ahmed Fathi, a global affairs analyst and a UN correspondent, speaking with VOA Senior Analyst Mohamed Elshinnawi.